Hey, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and I have an ornament from the Dollar Tree from Christmas time. There's different things you could use. I had like a beach ball sippy cup and some other crap that I've got at different places, and mostly Dollar Tree probably. But what I'm going to do today is build a hot air balloon. And hot air balloons have been around since the late 1700s, and the one that this is going to be based off of, it'll be a little smaller in scale too, but is called the Intrepid, which was a 5-man basket used for reconnaissance in the Civil War. And if you're wondering how they got gas in the Civil War, they would actually pour sulfuric on rusted iron shavings, and it would release hydrogen, and they would capture it. And that's what they used to fuel these balloons. The longest hot air balloon of the time trip, or the best scale I found, I should say, is in 2.5 hours they could travel 25 miles. So that was the speed, and it's based off of raising and lowering elevation to catch different airstreams and get pushed along, and by moving sandbags to different sides of the basket to change the way it was tilted to help it catch air better. So as the angle of the basket would change, it would actually change how fast or slow it could go a little bit. And then elevation was controlled predominantly with how hot they got the balloon and how full it was. So when you have hot gas that has less density than air, the expanded balloon actually goes up. And as you let air out, it goes down. So anyways, let's see what we can do about making a balloon. So the first thing I want to do is I want to extend this down and create the... I need scissors for that, don't I? I do. Did I get scissors? I did not. First thing I want to do is kind of cut this off like that. And get that glued on here. That might be a little bit long, so let me... And we're going to use this to make the carriage like pear shape. I shouldn't call it carriage, pear shape. Do more English, McDumo. I wish I had something a little more sturdy, like rigid and plastic to use. Let me see what I got. If I got something more rigid and plastic to use, we'll definitely use that. I do. I don't know how good it's going to be. Oh, my spleen. Alright, I got a couple options to look at here. The first thing, I got at least 4 plastic wine glasses from the Dollar Tree. I'm not sure how easy these will be to disassemble. And then I have some shot glasses too that might work. It might work better actually. Shot glasses might be on point. That seems a little big. Okay, I'm going to ditch this. I'm going to get that on there. Okay. And let's hope that there's no kind of weird heat that makes this collapse. Because that's one of my fears, is that if you don't have any release pressure, that this will collapse. So let's let that sit for a minute and cool in place. And we'll use this as our general frame. So we're going to need some structure to build that balloon in. And I think the way to handle that would be either to use masking tape, which we can try that and see how it works. I'm not sure how good it'll be. You know what might be smarter? Let's get some strips of cardstock and do it. So I'm just going to cut some thin strips like this. Let me cut this off. I don't know how many we're going to need. I'm guessing 6 would be adequate, but I don't really know that. Okay, that's on there pretty sturdy now. And to get this on, what I think we should do is get a thin bead of glue here, attach that, and then pull that tight there, and we'll snip off some of this, okay? And then we'll pull that tight. We're going to glue it just like this, okay? Okay, something like that should do it. And then in the end, we can just kind of shove that over top of it and see how that works, and see if we can get a little extension like that. We can or can't, I don't know. So I'm just going to get glue here, get that down. Okay, and glue that down. And we're just going to try to do that all the way around to make it look decent. We'll need 8 maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. I've never done this. I've never made a balloon like this. This is just an idea I'm having. So it might be an awesome idea. It might be a dog shit idea. I'll let you know how it turns out. I don't know if we need 8. I think 4 might work, but let's not take a chance. I'd rather this turn out really nice than really crappy. I am thinking the paint job on this is going to be a lot easier than some stuff. Like, it's going to be probably easier than a building, I'm guessing. I will say that if we were using the exact dimensions of the Intrepid, you would need a 7-inch globe, because the Intrepid was, I can't even think English. The Intrepid was 35 foot in diameter, the balloon was. And all I'm doing is shoving these roughly at the halfway point. I am burning myself a little bit, but that's okay. I'm used to it now. I think I played enough guitar and burnt myself enough that I can survive just about any crafting incident. Unless it nicks an artery or something, maybe. Don't get me wrong, it still hurts. Not like invincible, but it's definitely not as bad as it used to be. Okay. And we need one more. And that'll go over here. Now we're going to look for something that we used yesterday in our craft. And what we used yesterday in our craft was packing paper. So we want this to be kind of covered with that. So I'm going to get some glue. I'm going to pull that down like that. Kind of get it in place. Okay. All right. I'm going to come around the side here. I want to start here. We're going to get that on. And we're going to pull that around. Tighten that up. Okay. Let me get our glue stick. I'm just going to tighten this down. We'll do the same thing here. Okay. My glue gun turned off for some reason. We'll let that warm back up. And gotta get this last little bit over here. Okay. Sweet. Okay. Now, at the top here, I want to kind of cover that up a little bit and make that look okay. We got a little bit more work to do here, though, just to get these sides kind of fleshed out. So I was reading, apparently would get silk and somehow rubberize it. And I couldn't find how they were doing that. I didn't spend hours researching, though. I was just kind of like typing in stuff or clicking on links, but I was rabbit holing pretty much. But I will say that I was pretty interested in a lot of the discussion about the hot air balloons that were used prior to Civil War, and they made the change from hydrogen to helium because of the Hindenburg, which actually happened in Germany. It was a Zeppelin, but now we have a nice, good thing there. Let's get a piece of tape and try to make like a middle line around here now. Okay. And that'll kind of hold stuff in place while we do this part. And all I'm doing on this part is getting glue in cracks and closing them up as best I can. Okay, I'm going to flip this way, and then we're going to do the same kind of deal on the top. But to hold this up, we're going to drop it in this plastic cup. See if that'll hold it up. Yep, it will for a minute. How am I making the basket? Well, I'm not sure yet. I guess cardboard would be the easiest thing to use. Maybe coconut fiber. We do know that they intentionally used wicker because of how light it was to make the baskets. I read that. That's like a real thing. In modern ones, I think they use fiberglass, but back then they were actually using wicker. Oops. There we go. We just want to make sure we cover up all the cracks and holes. We don't want any air coming out of our balloon, right? Right. Okay. Now we do need to do something with the bottom here. I need this to cool off so I can hold it. don't think that's going to be the answer right there. I don't. Here's what I think the answer is going to be. Is to get a line of that without wood in it, of course. Oh, come on, you bastard. Get out of there. Okay, sweet, something like that. Get rid of some of this excess crap. And let's look at our basket possibilities. So we need 5 miniatures to sit in our basket, right? So let's assume that we use this as our kind of marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We could probably bring that in a little bit. That's going to be the size of our basket-ish. We can bring it in some. And try to square it off as much as possible. Okay. So for the base of our basket, we're going to use wood. I'm going to get a snippers. I'm going to get to snipping. Will 2 fit? Yes, it will. Sweet. Okay. And I assume two will fit here as well, and they will. Okay, nice. Oh, ran out of glue. Ran out of glue. Okay, so that's got a little bit of a curve to it, so we're going to fix that easily, like this. All right, so we're going to do a wraparound, and the wraparound is going to go only for some of the distance, because I want to be able to kind of make it to where I can get them in and out from the sides and have one open side. So to do that, what I think I'm going to do is try to use this Velveeta cheese box. And this is just a really thin cardstock. Okay, can we wrap that around both sides? Yeah, we can. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some glue here. Okay. And just kind of get that into place like that. Boop. Then I'm going to drag this around, just like that, and hold that in place while it cools. There we go. I'll do the same thing here. Drag it around, and hold it till it cools. I didn't get that side on there very well. So let's get that, shove that on there, and hold it in place. Then we'll snip off the excess. And that'll be the foundation for our basket. Now the baskets were actually deeper. They were about 3 foot deep. So this is by scale, just about that actually, never mind. I'd like to make this a little sturdier and have kind of a liner around the edge of it, something that makes it look a little more attractive, a trim of some sort. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come along the back side here. And glue a small thin strip just along the edges to hold it and strengthen it up. Okay, so all I'm doing is just holding that, strengthening it up. I'm going to try to fold that around, see if I can get that to stay nice. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to get it over to the edge. Pull it tight. Okay. Now, the easiest thing to use instead of rope is going to be able to use something like this, or if you have something thinner that'll be sturdy. So even though this is not my primary choice of what I would love to use, it's probably the smartest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to center that on there, and then to the outsides here, 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 and here, I'm going to glue a stick like this. Okay, I'm just going to shove that glue in there. I'm going to drag it back and forth and get a good bond. And I'm going to let it kind of cool to where it holds it in place the way I want. Okay. All right. We'll let those all cool. I'm going to lift up my camera. Okay. We're going to have to come around the outside of the basket and strengthen this up again with another thin strip. That's going to hold all these pieces on. It's going to be crazy difficult, I think. All right, so we're going to come here. We're going to do a thin strip on the inside of this. And let that sit for just a moment and cool. Then we're going to wrap it around. And we're going to get some there and some there. And we're going to crush it into place to hold that sturdily. I think sturdily is a word. Okay. We're just going to keep dragging that around, get it back in this little crack here, back around that one. We're going to get a little glue. We're going to continue around. I'm going to push it back into the crack, bring it up, pull it tight. Let's get a little bit in there. Okay, that should be pretty sturdy at that point, I'm guessing. So then, let's get our balloon, kind of get it where we want to sit in here. So I'm going to use a couple paint can lids to create my elevation inside here, where my balloon is going to sit in reference to where my balloon is. Now to mount these, first I'm just going to get a little glue here, okay, and there's little cuts, where it meets. I'm going to let this cool for a moment. I was going to use masking tape, but I think what I'm going to use is twine. So let me get some twine. All right, this should be pretty sturdy to move, I'm thinking. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my glue. I'm going to grab this around here just to hold it. And I'm going to wrap it around, trying to keep it at 180 degrees-ish. Okay, and once I've come back around to my start point, just like that, I'm going to shove that into my glue. Then I'm going to come in here, get a little bit of glue. I'm going to drag that rope up. Okay. Now, I'm going to come around again. Just like that. Then I'm going to wrap this in here and pull it snug. I get some glue, shove that in, and snip off that string. All right. Now in theory, I should be able to come around and snip these off. Now, to get all these permanently in their home right here, we're going to need to do a couple little fancy things. So let's start here. Let's get a little line of glue. Whoa, glue gun down. All right, anyways, we're going to smash it onto the end of that stick and onto the ball while I go find my glue gun. My glue gun. All right, and we're going to pull it across once that's dry. And we're just going to make that meet up over here. So I'm going to get a tiny dab of glue across the top here just to catch that string. Just like that. And I'm going to rub it kind of back and forth and get it on there good. Then I'm going to drag that down. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing here, from this side to this side. Okay. Shit, you ass. Threw my glue down on the ground again. Oh. I'm going to cut that snug. Okay. Now, there are some spider webs, but I would be hesitant to burn those off just yet. And I'd like to sturdy up the bottom of this basket a little bit more. So to do that, I'm going to come around the outside with popsicle sticks on 3 of the sides. So what I'm going to do is, with the first one, is I'm going to come here with a pretty thick bead of glue. And I'm going to get that in the side, and I'm going to push it really firm against it and hold that for a moment, okay? And then I'm going to do the same thing with another piece. Going a little thick. Okay. Then I'm going to let that solidify. Can you see what I'm doing at all? I just have popsicle sticks down here. Okay. And when those cool, I'll snip those off. Now let's do this side the same way. Okay. Okay. This side should be cool enough to snip off. All right, we need little sandbags too. I just thought about that. Okay. Then on the back, we're going to do the same thing yet again. Okay. And then just let that sit and cool. And we can snip those off. Now, using a flight stand for this, probably not needed, because this can fly up to 250 foot or 350 foot in the air if need be, which 300 foot is what, like 60 inches? So, I mean, holding this up in the air, setting this on a stack of something, or setting it off to the side will easily represent where the balloon is in location to people. You could always draw a vertical diagram to show them, or a horizontal diagram, I guess, to show them exactly how it's situated. Let's make sure that nothing is moving around. Everything seems pretty sturdy. All right, good. All right, I just want to get some real thin strips of cardboard. Let me get something that's already, something like that's not going to work. Here we go. I just want to do one more strengthening exercise. So all I'm doing is folding these in half, and only on the top portion of the basket. Just putting a strap. I don't foresee needing it anywhere else, though I could be wrong. Now there's a glue glob right here. Oh shit. Okay. We don't want a glue glob anywhere. Now on the fronts for these, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little bit more of a curved around kind of situation. So I'm just going to get this on here like that, push it down flat, and wrap that around and down. just to sturdy that up more. I don't want this coming apart on me in the middle of painting it or using it, which would be even worse. For those of you that know how to do paper mache or have the time to do paper mache, a balloon and paper mache could have been an amazing alternative to my build. But I do have to record kind of everything in an evening for each video. I don't edit or anything, and I want to put content out. I don't want to play silly games. So there it is. That's our hot air balloon that can hold 5 minis. It probably could hold 6, really, truth be told. But yeah, there you go. And so this is roughly based off of, we don't have sandbags. Oh, okay. You want sandbags, right? Check this out. Thin wire. You may or may not love this. This is actually not the best way. The best way to do it is with a piece of garbage bag. This is the best way to do it. There we go. This is also how you make garbage bags for like modern campaigns. So you want to get a piece of that and a smallish rock that's kind of flat. Okay. Wrap that up. Twist it. Get a little bit of wire. Just like that. Okay. Twist that up. Get your wire on there. Wrap that around. Snip off the excess. And then you can just get this piece and twist it into place around those ropes if you want, or however you want to do it. Okay. Let's make another one for the other side. It helps if you know how to grab a rock. And you could put one on all 4 corners ultimately if you wanted. I'm not going to. I'm just going to put 2. Okay, get that twisted. Get that on there. I just saw, for the first time ever, I saw Bubble Boy. And I was actually impressed. It wasn't a terrible movie. To make sure those don't ever move once you get them in place, you could probably just get like a dab of super glue and run it down those poles to make sure that all stays. Okay. I'm also going to run super glue along this rope up here. To make sure none of this ever comes apart on me. And it doesn't move. I'm just going to drop it around. That's my super glue, and I can do what I want with it. I'm going to grab a piece of this fabric, wipe that excess off. And I'm going to get a piece of cardstock. Make a little curved piece and kind of rub that around some. Okay. All right. Sweet. All right, please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, and all that happy crappy that helps the channel grow. Leave a comment. That's one of those things. And check out the Discord. Check out the website. Links are in the description. We got a sweet coupon code or discount code or whatever you call it going on. We'd love you to take advantage of that. If you can't, no judgment. We've all been there. Hey, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.